legacy. My mother was a student and a teacher. She set a great example for me of how to work hard. For almost 10 years, she studied for her master's and then her PhD. She taught over 100 students at once. She learned 3 languages, although often I caught her reading the English of Camus and Flaubert. Don't tell. But in the midst of so much work, she never let go of what she saw as the most important, her family. When I was one of her poetry students in grade school at Bush, she asked me what role I identified her as, a teacher or a mother. A mother, I replied. Good, she said, relieved. But in fact, she was both. She taught me a great deal more than just poetry. She taught me to read. She taught me how to be a good friend, taught me good values, to respect people's differences. She taught me perfect grammar and how to correct the faults of others in public when I feel like being obnoxious. Once she was in a parent-teacher conference, and one of my English teachers said something to the effect of between Ben and I, and she said Ben and me. Mom taught me the value of volunteer work. She gave me elegant taste and an appreciation for beauty, both outside and in. When I was 13, she looked at me and said, "You know, Benny, you'd be a lot more attractive if you plucked your eyebrows." And she sent me into the bathroom with a pair of tweezers. So yes, she taught me that. And she taught me how to fold a shirt and how to hold a fork correctly and put my napkin in my lap, how to send a thank you note and mean it. She taught me how to argue and make up after, how things don't always have to be roses to mean that 2 people love each other. She taught me to work hard and look hopefully towards the future. Just before Mom's illness, I remember thinking to myself that she was the only person in the world who really understood me, who would love me to the end of the world and back again no matter what. I marveled at what amazing intuition she had about what was going on inside my head. I couldn't easily keep things from her growing up. So with that, it was difficult for me, growing up, to have to harbor one frightening secret. She wanted to know often about the source of my anguish so she could help me, but I couldn't tell her or anyone. I wanted to be completely open with her, so for many years I built up the courage, not quite knowing what to expect. And when 3 years ago this June, I finally told her that I was gay, the first thing she said was, "I know." I didn't really need to tell her. She had been carefully observing all along, preparing. 2 summers ago, I was watching Anne of Green Gables again, saying goodbye to the old days before heading off to college, and she walked in and we reminisced for a second. "Oh, I so enjoyed watching this with you," she said. "That was the first time it occurred to me that you were gay." I was only 8. It isn't easy for any parent to have a gay child, but Mom handled my coming out with the grace and style which commanded her existence. She bought the books, she found other parents to talk to, and she even sought advice from her hairstylist. Thank you, Kenny. I credit her strength and good sense of humor, like the time she proudly announced to me, "Ben, I just bought an Isaac Mizrahi coat," partly because he's gay and outrageous. She was very earnest. Once she called me in a panic. She said she had been invited to dinner by a gay man she was working with. She said, "What should I wear? What if he doesn't like me? Some straight lady." "Mom," I said, "everybody likes you, and he's met straight ladies before." Last month, my old boyfriend came by to the house to say hi. She leaned over him and said, "You know, I always secretly liked you." I always tell people how lucky I am to have come out while still at home. It wasn't easy, especially since it coincided with her first illness. But going through the hard periods made us stronger. When I went away to school and we weren't in each other's hair, we got to iron things out properly. We kept in magnificent touch, and we emailed almost every day, just with a little bit of news, or sometimes a lot. We shared our lives. In the end, we were truly friends. Friends with no secrets between them, who knew every bit of each other. I feel fortunate knowing that Mom died, knowing the whole of me, that I will never look back, wishing I could have made better use of our time together. I am truly one of the lucky ones. Even before she came ill, I would talk about her with what I must admit is a rather strange frequency. I would go to parties and I would meet people and promptly bring up my mom. I would want to tell people how proud I was of her. Only now, I feel like I talk about her less. I don't know with which tense I should speak of her. It is too painful. I don't want to talk about her dying, but of what a wonderful life she had.